Oh boy, folks, here we go. XRP Plus versus XRP. We got to talk about it. Is it a competitor? Is it just complementary? Is it truly a side chain to the XRP ledger? Let's talk about it, folks. We're going to be getting some answers here, and I'm going to let you guys know how I feel at the end as far as my expectations. I'm not afraid to speculate. I don't shy away from these conversations. I don't have to read it on a white paper to have an opinion about something, right? And so for me, I'm just approaching this as someone in the XRP community that wants the facts about whatever the heck we're trying to do over here. I'm kind of, teasing the developers a little bit. I'm calling this their sandbox, their playground. They're going to go play at their playground, doing the little developer stuff. And I hope that they're able to build some real utility that can be brought back to the mainnet XRP ledger. That's my hope. That's my goal. If you don't want to watch the rest of the video, if technical, things aren't your deal and you don't care about this stuff, that's fine. At the end of the day, I think that there's nothing wrong with just holding your XRP, believing in your XRP, and treating it as a world reserve digital currency. As I've been putting out some content as of late, reminding everyone of what Ripple and XRP, the true plan, intentions, dreams, and visions have been, and the success that we've achieved so far, and kind of the trajectory that I think that we're on. It's pretty fun, but the main frustration here with the XRP ledger for so many, including in the developer community, and in particular, the developer community, is they can't build, they can't move, they can't break things, And so let's go let them go to the playground, go break the fork that you guys have done here, figure out what works, and let's bring it back to the main chain. Sounds fantastic to me. So I want to be very clear about a couple things right now. One, I'm trying to support the developers, right? And two, I am not paid by these guys. I am not sponsored by them. I am not sponsored by anybody. I have not taken a sponsorship check, period. Now, it's sad that that even has to be said, because I'm just trying to talk about this. I'm just trying to ask legitimate questions, right? But folks have accused me of being a psyop today. And I'm not trying to push this whole thing here. What I'm trying to do is ask legitimate questions, support the developers, and to, those folks that want to say, are you paid by them? Well, as a matter of fact, I've actually stated, I've put it out there in the open many times, anybody building legitimate utility on the XRP ledger, you have a free slot on my show. Come be interviewed by me. I'm not the BitBoy Cryptos of the world. I don't have the biggest audience, but we can get some eyeballs on your project, and we can get some awareness for your project. If it's legitimate utility on the XRP ledger, I've always had a free open slot. Come talk about your project. Come talk about what you're building. I would love to have the conversation. I don't need a sponsorship check. I don't do sponsorship checks. Never needed to, right? And when it comes to this, the offer's still there to all of these guys, to the alliance is what they're calling themselves, that are going to do this sidechain. You all got a spot here on my show. I'd love to give you guys a platform to explain what we're trying to do, what we're trying to build out, what you're bringing to the world, utilizing the XRP ledger. Let's talk about it. Let's do this. This is what I support, And in fact, the last week that I spent in these spaces with these developers trying to ask the questions, right? I was trying to figure out, how can I support this? That was really my stance, was I'm just a believer in the XRP ledger. And if you're telling me, for, not even that much XRP, we can go play over there. Well, let's go play over there. And I'm willing to donate to the cause, right? I took up a bet against Casino Coin Daniel that the case is going to settle in September, SEC versus Ripple. I bet him 100 XRP. That's just for fun. But it's emphasizing a use case. It's emphasizing utility. That's fun. That's good. That's XRP ledger utility. I actually think that peer-to-peer bets is a pretty fun idea. Not that I condone gambling, right? I'm not here to give anybody financial advice. I'm not here to say whether you should burn all of your XRP for, XRP Plus. But I'm not afraid to speculate on what XRP Plus is going to do price-wise. I'm not afraid to speculate on that, right? I'm not afraid to talk about it. I'm not afraid to clarify what these developers truly are saying. So one of these developers put out the statement of basically comparing the XRP ledger mainnet to Nokia and comparing XRP Plus to the iPhone smartphone. and saying that when iPhones came out, smartphones came out, not everybody updated their Nokia. Some kept their Nokia, and that's fine. But others want the iPhone. Others want the smartphone, more capabilities. And so I clarified his statements because we don't need to do decodes. We don't need to do riddles. We don't need to, let's just get straight to the point here on what you're saying. You're saying the XRP is Nokia, and you're saying the XRP Plus is the smartphone. Okay, that's fine, right? And it's interesting to me. They're coming out and pitching this thing, kind of marketing it, or at least the conversations that I've heard in the spaces, which I've been in like almost all of them. I've been in a lot of conversations and listening, mostly listening, and they're trying to pitch it as the side chain that's mostly complementary, but then they're also trying to clarify that no, it is completely separate, and you know, we want support, we want attention for our work, but we're not going to allow anybody to do burn to mint. We're not going to allow anybody in the community to participate in the burn to mint. It's going to be all kept for ourselves. And we have, you know, the developers are going to keep that tool for themselves. They could make it on an X app, even if they wanted to charge. I mean, shoot, that's a business model right there. If you truly believe in your burn to mint and what we're doing over here with XRP Plus, you could make it a thing with a fee, make a little money. You guys are all complaining about money, not getting reimbursed for your work. Provide the toolkit. And this is one of my questions that I've had is why not make the burn to mint last longer than the first 2 million ledgers at a 1-to-1 ratio? And it goes for 30 million ledgers. Yes, I understand that. But the 1-to-1 burn to mint only goes for the first 2 million. And that's just one of the many questions that I've had. Because I, once again, am approaching this as a supporter. I'm trying to say, okay, let's go play at the playground. And let's go build something new and cool. And then it's going to be brought back to the main chain and it's going to benefit the whole ecosystem, right? It is a competitor. Let's not play around. Let's not dance around the issues like these guys like to do. And the developers, God bless them. They're so smart. They're too smart that they're not the best at articulating their message, their ideas, and what they're doing. Right? They're not communicators, they're not marketers by trade, they're just developers. Incredibly smart in their own field. 100% respect. Right? But this is where they have to pair up with someone to help them on the marketing. Someone to help them actually explain what's taking place to the average person who's wondering, what the heck are you guys doing here? With a ledger name that I can't even pronounce. Zahao. Okay, but that's just my initial rant. Let's get right to this. I was trying to make this video short and sweet, but you guys know how I am. And this has been a hotly contested topic. And like I said, I've been called everything from a psyop to a paid shill just for trying to talk about this. So that's why I had to get that initial kind of rant off my chest to start this episode up. But let's get right on into it, folks. So what we have here is XRP Labs and the Alliance. There's basically a group of 8 people that make up this alliance, XRP Labs, who are the creators of the Zum wallet. Many of you guys use the Zum wallet, including myself, right? We are proud to be a part of the Zahao network as a launch participant. As stated earlier, we will support multiple chains that use the XRP Ledger protocol, and our commitment to the main XRPL remains steadfast. Now, that's important to remember, folks, that they themselves are saying that they remain, focused on the XRP ledger as well. But they dropped the white paper here, and I will have the white paper linked up down below. But this was a good little fun fact here from Scott Chamberlain, who is the co-founder of Evernode. And Evernode is a smart contracts platform that's going to be launching on the Hook sidechain here, the Zahao network, right? They're not going to be on main chain because main chain doesn't have these smart contract Hook capabilities. So they're going over to the side chain here, Zahao network. But Scott put this together, fun facts on Zahao. The token is called Zahao XRP. The ticker is XRP Plus. And XRP Plus is just the suggested ticker. The exchanges might not adopt it. Tickets are hard because most are already taken. Tickers are hard. The Zahao ledger isn't a canary. It's just agile. It's the ecosystem's cruiser to the XRPL battleship. I like that analogy. That's a good one, right? It's the ecosystem's cruiser to the XRPL battleship, right? The main ship. And it is not a testnet. It is its own blockchain, right? It's not meant to be just a canary testnet like Songbird. It's meant to be its own chain. Evernode and Zahao are different things. Evernode is Zahao's first use case. It's anchor tenant. We're launching on Zahao because it has hooks. And so that's a great analogy right there, right? In real estate, your anchor tenant is that main big brand store, grocery store, sometimes at your commercial property, right? Your anchor tenant, and then all the other smaller businesses and service businesses surround that main anchor tenant in commercial real estate. And so Evernote is going to be the first use case, the first anchor tenant here on the Zahow ledger. And that's the Evernote platform. And the Evernote snapshot just took place on September 1st. I'll make a separate video explaining the Evernote airdrop. There's still more information to come out, but basically all you had to do was self-custody your XRP and or have it on Uphold, I think BitTrue, and maybe a couple other exchanges as well. I will do a follow-up on Evernote, though. Don't want to get into it too deep on this video. The how includes features that could not be brought to mainnet. The code was written and the PR submitted but never accepted, let alone submitted to a vote, often for good reason. So he's commenting on the fact on how hooks has not been even submitted or allowed to be voted on, right? So basically there was no really push by the main folks, the main validators that, confirm and run and amend the XRP ledger, right? They didn't want hooks. And it seems like it wasn't a priority for Ripple either. And so he says, see, you can't just add hooks to mainnet. Hooks involves breaking changes, mostly around its need for higher and dynamically set fees. These changes would require updates across the whole ecosystem, leading to chaos for exchanges and wallets and others until everyone caught up. Hooks is better on its own chain for now. Careful planning, significant effort, and demonstrable utility that makes the effort and risk worthwhile are all necessary for hooks to go live on mainnet. So this can be brought back to the mainnet, right? Parts of it, all of it. Some folks are saying that it's not likely. I agree. I think that only small tweaks, small amendments will be brought back to it. Zahow is more than just hooks. It includes other stalled change requests. Unless you've tried to build on the XRP ledger, you probably don't know that IOUs cannot be escrowed and cannot benefit for pay channels. These are enormously useful for things like stablecoins. Zahow fixes this, making issued currencies as useful as the native asset. Zahow also includes URI tokens so that the NFT is a first-class ledger object. Unique, it's something unique identifier tokens, okay? It's basically what is it? more easily better identifiable tokens, or NFTs, I guess, is kind of what they're doing right there. Finally, the 600 million initial supply of Zahow XRP protects mainnet. It means that XRP at about 50 cents, the Zahow's market cap would have to exceed 300 million for it to make any sense for most people to burn to mint. Coupled with the 2 Zahow XRP each cloned account receives for free to pay for its account reserves and up to 5 ledger objects, there is little reason to believe anyone would need to burn any XRP to mint Zahow XRP in the near future, maybe ever. But burn to mint is an option there if you want it, idle if you have no use for it, and the thing about options is they are never not valuable. So, the burn to mint deal is for the first 2 million ledgers, you're going to get a 1-to-1 parity, right? So if you burn 1 XRP, you're going to get 1 XRP plus. Now you have to understand, this is a one-way bridge mechanism that's going to connect, right, XRP mainnet to XRP sidechain through this swap, through this one-way bridge, right? And it is, going to have obviously a relation back to the main chain. That is notable. And to me, it appears that they've set this up as a push to incentivize early adopters by giving the 1-to-1 parity for the first 2 million ledgers. And then after that, it diminishes down for the next 28 million ledgers until after 30 million ledgers, basically the burn to mint ends. Okay. Now, by most expectations of, blockchain, blockchain experts that I've talked to, they've said that at the current run rates, we would basically have that first 2 million ledgers, that 1-to-1 parity, burn to mint would last about 90 days, right? If we're running something, similar or comparable to the XRP ledger mainnet, which it could vary, of course. But it sounds to me like we're going to have maybe a few months on deciding whether or not to burn to mint. Now, the thing about burn to mint, a lot of people are caught up on it. A lot of people in the community are like, what the heck? Anytime you talk about burning XRP, folks talked about burning the XRP escrow that Ripple holds, right? It's been a hot contested topic for sure. And so anytime you talk about it, people get all riled up. It's not going to be available for most people unless the developers provide the tool in basically an X app. So, peer-to-peer bets, that bet that I mentioned at the very start of this episode, that's a X app, peer-to-peer bets that Casino Coin made. Someone could create an X app that would make the toolkit kind of available for everybody to do burn to mint if they wanted to. But it sounds to me like most of these developers are not interested in making it available for us speculators, which is basically what they've said. They are so concerned about us speculating on, they're so concerned about protecting us. They remind me of Gary Gensler, kind of, good guy Gary out here to protect us. These developers, they remind me of the same thing. It's like, we want to protect you guys, and they don't want us speculating too. They've made it, we want to protect you, but also we don't want the speculators coming over to the sidechain here. Which, okay, okay, sure. Speculation took Doge where it took Doge, and Doge is a top 10 cryptocurrency, right? So there's something to be said for a little bit of speculation, right? And I made the case. It's like asking somebody to go to the casino and don't gamble, right? You're asking someone to take a look at this project, but don't speculate on it. Well, we're in crypto, bro. What are you talking about? It's like asking me to go to the casino and not gamble, So it's kind of just ridiculous at the premise here, and offensive in some regards, because I'm like, okay, I understand you don't want me to speculate. Like, this is what people are going to do, though. But with that being said, the mechanism as it stands today won't be available unless the developers make it available. First 2 million is going to be 1-to-1. After that, 30 million ledgers of burn to mint, and then it ends. Now, like I said, I asked the question, why not make this more available? Why not, allow the burn to mint to go on longer, right? Why put an expiration on it? And I think that the main reason, like I said, is they just want to incentivize the early adopters. And then the answers that I got from developers was, we don't want to be constrained to XRP price. So they are of the belief that if they have the burn to mint 1-to-1 parity, that's actually going to constrain XRP Plus's price to XRP, which makes sense when you look at arbitrage and what traders would do. You would be able to burn to mint, and you would be able to arbitrage back and forth as long as there was a pairing. But I just suggested that, well, whatever you're building on top of XRP Plus should just add to that price, add to the value of XRP Plus, right? If you guys are, building something legitimate over here, that's just going to add on to whatever price is sustained by having that burn to mint, right? That's going to be one factor that, impacts XRP Plus price, but you guys are going to be building utility over here too. So to me, it's just, you're adding those, and it's not something that's going to take away or constrain, right? I get why the arbitrage would constrain it to a sense, but then to me, that assumes you're running with the assumption then that you're going to have a higher price than XRP, which I heard many people say yes. And there are many people of the belief that it will have a higher price because there's only going to be 600 million tokens plus whatever gets burned and whatever ends up, the inflation rate from there going forward. There is no cap. There's no cap. So there's no cap like there is with XRP, 100 billion tokens for XRP. There is no cap for XRP Plus. So we're going to see how many people do burn to mint, and then we're going to see kind of what that inflation rate looks like, because folks are going to get incentivized for their participation on the network. That's why they didn't cap it. That's why this network is going to be inflationary, is the whole thing of their, no incentive is the best incentive on the mainnet XRP ledger is not going to be the case over there. You are going to get incentivized on the Zahao network. Now, in regards to incentivized, incentivizing validators, I asked the question, well, how do we become a validator? Because there's already 8 chosen validators that are part of this alliance, is what they're called. And they're confirmed. They're already the first 8, which is nearly half of the total the total validators that are going to make up their UNL list. So on the UNL list for the XRP Ledger mainnet, you basically have like 30 something validators that are on the UNL list, which is like the chosen, respectable validators. Like everybody agrees, like they're running good validators. They're responsible validator nodes. But then there's over like 130, I believe, total validators, but only 30 to 34, something like that, on the UNL list. Well, on the side chain here on the Zhao Ledger, there's only going to be 20 on their equivalent of a UNL list. And so I said, well, how do I become a validator if I want to come over here and participate and become a validator? How do I do that? I wasn't able to get an answer. And I asked Casino Coin Daniel, and he said that, it was one of the many questions that he had written down, and he was going to directly to Vice Vin from XRPL Labs to ask for clarification on that question. So I'm hoping that I can follow up and I can figure out how to become a validator on the Zhao Ledger as well. It's very interesting to me that basically we already got the 8 within the alliance, and they're not making the burn to mint feature available for the community. And so it's almost like it's this, like the developers are keeping this for themselves, and they don't want speculators. They don't want folks like me trying to figure out how to work my way in here, and whether I'm going to speculate on it or not, I can neither confirm nor deny, but I am not afraid to speculate. You guys know that. But I'm approaching this from, guys, I want to support you, but I've had some questions about, the tokenomics here, the burn to mint, how to become a validator, and we're waiting on getting some follow-up answers on that. But in regards to what I just laid out for you guys, it's pretty simple. This is the developer playground. Whatever works out for them, they're going to bring back to mainnet. One final thing that I wanted to share with you guys before I close it off, and like I said, I'm going to share the white paper down below, but the initial distribution. So they've put in a lot of effort, and so this is why they're talking about the launch parties have invested significant time and resources to launch the HAO. Thus, it would be unreasonable to also require them to use burn to mint. So the alliance doesn't have to use burn to mint, okay? Because they don't deserve to have to use burn to mint. They're going to be gifted some XRP plus, and the distribution will go as follow. The protocol will pay a modest 600 million Zhao XRP as follows: 12 million to each of the 8 governance game validator seats on launch. So that's what I said. That's what they're calling it, the governance game. And they already have 8, and the original 8 each get 12 million XRP plus. Then 16 million XRP plus will be sent to GateHub for DEX stablecoin liquidity bootstrapping. So basically, GateHub is going to provide a trading pair for XRP plus, and I'm assuming XRP. I don't know if there's going to be any other pairs. There's already talks of a XRP plus stablecoin that's going to be on GateHub. I guess that's what they're trying to do. So they're gifting 16 million XRP plus tokens to GateHub. That's an exchange, right? GateHub is a very, prominent exchange here in the XRP Ledger ecosystem. They're going to be getting 16 million. And then 160 additional million XRPL Labs Zaman, which that's the new name that they're rebranding to. XRPL Labs is now Zaman. For intellectual property, Zaman has carried the main technical and financial burden of developing hooks in Zahad. This additional distribution is for that effort. So an additional 160 million to XRPL Labs. Then we are going to send 328 million to the XRP Ledger Foundation to help ensure the health of the XRPL protocol ecosystem moving forward. So that's going to be the initial distribution. You got this alliance. They want to have their playground, and I'm all for it, right? Like I said, I'm all for it. And if folks want to burn their XRP to go to XRP Plus, I'm not here to give anybody financial advice. And I cannot tell you guys if I'm going to be doing any burn to mint, because I don't know if it's going to be available, or if I can figure it out, or if I can pay one of these developers to help me do it. I'm interested to see the process. I'm interested to see how it works. And I'm interested to, I want to be able to go over there and partner up with the developer. And, you're telling me I can go over here to this sidechain and play around for a relatively cheap cost. Like I was talking to one person, he said, we're talking like a minimal amount of XRP, like less than 100 XRP even. you'd be able to go over there and play, like even just a few XRP. In fact, with the cloned accounts, which we don't exactly know how the clone account process is going to work. It's kind of in the white paper. I don't understand it. I'm still following up on how to clone your account over to the sidechain, which sketches me out, right? Cloning your account from the mainnet, and you open up, and they're going to give you 2 is the minimum wallet holding. You have to have 2 for that reserve. Just like on the XRP ledger, you have to have 10 minimum in a wallet. Well, on the sidechain here, you need 2. And they're going to give you free, 2 tokens so that you can essentially open up a wallet and if you clone your account over. And so we still don't know how that process is going to be playing out. But once again, folks, I'm all for it. I would love to go over here with a developer and, for 50 XRP, 100 XRP, we can go figure out how to, tokenize real estate through hooks. We can figure out how to go, tokenize gold through hooks. We can figure out how to go tokenize our silver through hooks. Hey, my name's Zach Rector, and I got, a little stash of silver. Let's tokenize it. I want to do some real estate. Let's figure out how to put it into hooks, right? I need these developers to help me out, and so I'm willing to participate. I'm willing to pay, right? But I'm asking legitimate questions that the community has been asking as well. I'm waiting to get these answers, and I will follow up with more. I wanted to get this one out of the way because it's been a hotly contested, debated topic over the last week. There's still a lot to be on this one, so I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me as we try to figure it all out, as we try to decode the developers. We're not decoding riddles anymore. We're decoding the developers. I don't know which one's more difficult, honestly. But once again, I much love, much respect to all the devs. I understand where they're coming from. I understand why some of them are frustrated and this and that. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Here's your playground. Go play. Go break. I want them to go break the ledger over there. Please. Right? And this is what we want. Go break it over there. Let's figure out how to fix it before we bring it back over to mainnet. I want to make another point. It's also very interesting. Right now, we have an Ethereum virtual machine sidechain that doesn't even use a token that's being worked on and developed right now as well, too, for the XRP ledger mainnet. So it's in testnet phase right now, I believe. But we're looking for that to go live here sometime in the next year or so, too. So, folks, here's the bottom line. There's a tremendous amount of utility that's coming to these ledgers. What I'm trying to do, and maybe you guys might want to do this as well, is figure out how your business is going to utilize this technology, how you are going to tokenize real estate. You're going to tokenize whatever you're going to do. You're going to tokenize your business. Once again, I'm not here to give you financial advice. Please consult with your tax or your legal professionals, because when you step into this game, you got to make sure you're doing it right. And that's what I want to do. I want to make sure we're doing it right. And I want to understand, how I can participate, what I'm going to get for that participation, what's going to happen here with the XRP plus tokens, the burn to mint deal. And like I said, for me, I've always talked about once this ledger gets ramped up, if all of these transactions were on main chain, you end up burning the supply rather quickly, right? Because what Hooks does is it needs higher transaction fees. It's putting more load on the ledger. So you incentivize these transactions, you incentivize the validators to push these transactions through. So it would burn even faster on the main chain. So they're working things out. Let's let the developers build it out. Let's let Ripple keep building. And Ripple's been leading the way. I'm never going to discount what Ripple's done. Ripple and Brad is the king of this deal, right? For all intents and purposes. And we have folks that are trying to build on this thing too. God bless them. I want to support them, okay? And I want to do this together as a community. So that's why I'm asking these questions. That's why I'm providing these videos. I'm trying to, cut through all the narratives, all the FUD. What's the truth? The truth is the devs want a playground. They have it. They're going to go play, and it's all going to be good for the XRP ledger. Now, maybe a lot of these hooks, amendments, and all this stuff doesn't come back to mainnet. Maybe it doesn't need to. But just like I said, with the Ethereum virtual machine and all these other smart contract platforms, it becomes less relevant where the smart contract gets executed, and it becomes most important what currency that contract is going to be paying out in, i.e., when I have my real estate transaction tokenized on the XRP ledger or on Ethereum. Someone's tokenized real estate on Ethereum. But what do they want to get paid out in? They're going to want to get paid out in XRP, because XRP is a world reserve digital currency, and the masses are soon going to wake up to that. And, for me, I like to have fun. I think everybody needs to take a deep breath. The bear market's weighing on folks. So let's remain focused, remain strong, understand that this thing can be a reserve currency, and we also can work with the developers that are building on the more retail level as well. The combination of the two is how we really benefit humanity from the bottom up, right? And this is what I'm so excited about. I made a post here today. There's most recent report is about 1.7 billion unbanked people in the world, right? And so what Ripple's doing is they're enabling payment providers, banks, and institutions on the back end. They don't worry about the front end app. They don't worry about basically having contact with the retail client. They don't worry about having contact with the person that's unbanked in the third world, but they're setting up relationships with the payment providers in those regions. It's just like the video that I shared earlier Sunday on BRICS going live with, BRICS has 5 countries live with XRP ODL, and one of them is MFS Africa is partnered up with Ripple, and they're providing ODL to essentially the whole continent, right? That's what we're talking about getting done. And what these guys are going to do on the sidechain, I think, too, is going to really help usher in a new era of utility for the XRP ledger. And I'm really looking forward to it, guys. So, we don't all have to like each other. We don't all have to love each other. I like to respect all the legitimate builders. Like I said, my platform's always open. If you guys want to come by and tell the world what real utility you're building on the XRP ledger, you got a spot on my show. And so, with that being said, folks, I'm going to wrap up this episode. I hope that our community can come together, remain strong. If you're looking to get tapped in with our exclusive community in the Patreon Discord group, just head on over to my website, ZachRector.com. And as always, if you guys can do me a big favor by smashing that thumbs up on the way out, making sure that we're subscribed and hitting that notification bell, and make sure you stay tuned because we got a lot more coming your way this week. Okay, have a good one. God bless.